Everyone listening today will have lost someone who was dear to them, close to them, someone they have loved. A parent, a child, a sibling, a friend. For each person grieves in their own way. The sad news that we heard last week, of course, was the death of Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II. Now, let's be honest, she was 96 years of age, and it was very clear to everyone that her health was failing. However, it still came as a surprise and even a shock to many, many people. And even myself, who is probably a royalist, I was surprised and I really did feel quite emotional. Now, it doesn't matter what age someone is when they pass away. However, the younger the person is, then the more tragic it is. The Queen has lived a long, good life. But the nation feels like she was like our mum, our grandmother. And even though the majority of the Britain especially had not met the Queen, she still was very much part of our lives. As a minister, while I've conducted, more funerals than probably you can even imagine, each person is unique and each person is a gift from God. I have conducted funerals from the very elderly to those babies who have not yet been born into this world. But life changes fast. Life changes in an instant, and we've all seen that and probably all witnessed it as well. These 10 days of mourning that we are now in as a country, well, it gives us a time to remember and a time to reflect. I have often told people that funerals, for me, are bittersweet, because I believe they are. They're bitter because we have lost someone that we have loved, and they're sweet because we have so many memories that we can share of them. And I remember saying that, at funerals here in Britain, but also I remember saying these words to our friends in Zuglo when they lost a loved one. And they reminded me of it when Mihai from Hungary sent over a lovely email offering his condolences to ourselves in East and Old and also to us as a nation on the loss of our Queen, saying that it was bittersweet. But they have fond memories of the Queen when she visited Hungary. I'm really thankful to God that we have the capacity to remember. It gives us time to think about the good times, the funny times, the experiences, and yes, the bad times too. And in remembering the Queen, that's how we celebrate the life of our Queen. Some believe that death is only the beginning of the next great mystery, and the soul is eternal. Others take a far more practical view that death is all that there actually is. And of course, being a person of faith, I believe that the Queen has started, another venture in a very different place. When someone special dies, it's called bereavement. We usually have very strong reactions to it, in our feelings and in our thoughts. Our bodies can react too, and this is called grief or grieving. And you may go through all kinds of feelings: sadness, worry, anxiety, confusion, shock. You may be angry, you may feel guilty, or nothing at all after the first initial reaction of numbness. And these are normal reactions, and they can go on for quite some time. We call it a spiral of grief. All sorts of feelings come back and forward in different ways, at different times, but eventually they will be less deep and overwhelming. Believe me, I too feel grief. Even though I didn't know the Queen personally, I feel the loss of any person does, of the loss of such a well-loved person who gave her all in the role as Queen. And any child listening today, no matter your age, will be feeling that grief too, and can empathise, with King Charles, the Princess Royal, Princes Andrew and Edward, and all of their families. In Easton Road, we rang the church bells on Friday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. and a good number of people came into the church to sit, to reflect, and some to pray, and also to sign our condolence book. The church will remain open every morning until this coming Sunday from 9:30 to 12:30 for anyone, whether you're a person of faith or not, to come in and sign the book of condolences. Our Queen served our Lord God and served this country wonderfully, and no words will ever convey our grateful thanks to her. Rest in peace, Your Majesty. You are now at rest and in a safe haven. God save the King.